I'm on Highway 90 heading to Spokane Airport, and I just see some smoke, and it's 50-mile-an-hour winds or whatever, 40-mile-an-hour winds. It was crazy. By the time when I got to cell phone parking at the airport, the fire grew exponentially, and it was crazy. Everybody that parked in that parking lot got out and took a picture and was like, what the heck is on fire? Hi, we're James and Cara, and this is Kerouacs Cruising.
We are two ordinary people exploring what it means to build a life that feels true, day by day, from one campfire to the next.
This is our adventure, and we're glad you're part of it.
Good morning, friends.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Well, another exciting week.
Yes.
2 weeks, whatever it is, for Kerouacs Cruising. Cara's been out playing again.
Well, first of all, the trucks came back from the shop, brand new gen.
So I will say, anybody that's in northern Idaho that wants work done should go to High Caliber Automotive in Hayden, Idaho. The guy's a real mechanic. He does real good work. And looking at the truck, he did stuff that he didn't really need to do, and he included it in the price. And he was not.
He did stuff that he didn't say he was going to do, and included in the price. He kept true to his quote.
Whatever his quote was, he was $40 less. And we're just at 500 miles, so anybody knows about a brand new engine, we're going to change the oil and put some new oil in it. But so far, knock on anything you want, truck's going good.
Yeah, so that's great. He actually came and picked me up from the airport day before yesterday. That was the first long drive in the truck, and so
yeah, that was the furthest I've driven.
Yeah,
and it drove smooth to the airport, and the airport's about an hour and a half away, so pretty good. I mean, some crazy stuff on the way to the airport. Anybody's following the news, I'm on Highway 90 heading to Spokane Airport, and I just see some smoke, and it's 50-mile-an-hour winds or whatever, 40-mile-an-hour winds. It was crazy. By the time when I got to cell phone parking at the airport, the fire grew exponentially, and it was crazy. Everybody that parked in that parking lot got out and took a picture and was like, what the heck is on fire? And that made the drive home crazy. And the last few days, just yesterday, the smoke was so bad that the sun couldn't get through it.
Yeah, it was like an amber glow on everything. And I know that's been going on a lot in the Northeast and stuff from the Canadian fires, but yeah, we were experiencing that here yesterday. And yeah, it was crazy because there were so many. So the fire is pretty close to Spokane proper, and so there were so many evacuation alerts. Like while I was on the plane, everybody's phones kept going off with that emergency alert system. And when we last heard yesterday, it was over. And what did you say?
600 structures have burned.
Yeah.
And I think my son said like 50,000 people got evacuated.
Wow. Yeah.
So crazy numbers. You know, I'm happy I don't live there. We've experienced fires in Arizona, and we actually got evacuated from fires on our property. And
the fire wasn't on our property. It was in our neighborhood, but we got evacuated from our property. Yes.
Yeah, we got evacuated from our property from a wildfire, and they said leave. And I had a trailer. We put stuff on the trailer, but we left.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But anyways, so we are still in Idaho. We're going to be in Idaho for a little while. So hopefully we do some adventuring. It's really been all family time. And then Cara's been adventuring on her own. Yeah. She went on her birthday party trip, and then she went to Cocoa Beach for a week. Left me alone again.
Left you alone with your kid and your grandkid.
I was stuck alone in the woods.
And the dogs.
She's going to tell you about her time in Florida, why I was home being depressed.
You're so dramatic. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. So I mentioned it last episode. My aunt, while I was in Dallas with my girlfriends, and the truck had just broken down, offered to fly me out to Florida to spend time with my cousins and my little cousins, so my cousins' kids, and her and my cousin-in-laws, and it was a really fun trip. It was really great. We went boogie boarding, played in the ocean, soaked up the sun. We went to the Kennedy Space Center. There was some shopping that was done. We ate seafood galore.
She never cooked a meal.
I did not get, yeah, we figured out last night. I cooked for the family last night, and I did not cook the whole week, which is, very unusual. James cooks for me a lot because I'm always so engaged in podcast stuff. So James does do a lot of the cooking, but it's rare for me to go a whole 24 hours without cooking something. So that was actually surprising. And especially when I visit people, I usually push to make a meal. So it was great. I did spend, a lot of time with family, but I spent a lot of alone time too. One of the things that I was actually reflecting on this morning is, I know that I'm an introvert at heart. Once I feel comfortable around people, then I can get super talkative and not shut up because I'm so excited to talk about something that's relatable if I have somebody who wants to listen to it. So I did keep taking time where I would see that there was an opportunity for me to slip away, and I would run, and I would spend, a couple of hours in my hotel room just by myself. Sometimes I would be scrolling social media. Sometimes I would just be sitting. There was a nice patio with an ocean view. I would just sit outside and watch storms or watch the water, eat. I had charcuterie board basically set up in my room, so I would snack on that, or I'd call James. I probably spent as much time talking to James throughout this trip as I would spend if we were together. It felt like it was hours, especially at night. I had a hard time falling to sleep at night. When I went on my trip with my girlfriends, one of my girlfriends and I shared the bed, and me and James are pretty much together 24/7. Even when James went to New Hampshire and I was staying at my friend's house with the dogs, one of the dogs slept with me every night, Norman, pretty much, because he's the only one who can really jump on the bed. So I haven't slept alone really in years, and so I didn't realize how anxious I was. And being completely alone without the dogs and James with me, that was a little rough for me. I didn't realize how secure, because if something is weird, the dogs are going to bark, even if James isn't there. So there was this level of am I actually safe, which is silly, when you think about it logically, in a hotel room where I can, put the extra bolt on or whatever to make sure that I'm safe. It was just weird. Once I was completely alone, it was eerie. So there were nights where I was talking to James until 1 o'clock in the morning, East Coast time, just because I was so anxious about being able to fall to sleep by myself. So I did spend a lot of time talking to James, but a lot of time by myself and a lot of time with family that I really haven't spent a significant amount of time with since I was 10 years old. So it was really nice to be able to spend that time, to realize it's interesting the generational traits that you don't realize really carry through, because I haven't, again, spent a significant amount of time with these people since I was 10. And, the things that we are similar or have in common, my one cousin, we are the exact same person. He's just the male version of me, mentally, emotionally. We react and act the same way about things. The dynamics in our relationships are very similar. So it's just kind of cool to see that. My aunt, I was actually talking to the kids last night, our daughter-in-law and her sister and her parents. They were asking a lot of questions about my family because I spend more time with them than I do my physical, blood family. So they were asking a lot of questions, and talking about, who I look more like, and I look less like my sisters, but more like my aunt that I visited. I look like I could be her daughter. So it's just really neat to have spent that time when I haven't had that time in the past. And because of the distance, notice how much our traits are so similar, how we think the same, talk the same, act the same in a lot of different ways. There's a lot of different ways where we're very different, but seeing the similarities was neat. I'm kind of relishing in it. I a lot of the time would watch everybody interact with one another because they're with their spouses and their kids and all of that. And I'm just kind of sitting back watching everybody interact with one another. And so watching the interactions with their kids and things like that, it was just really, really neat. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. I'm really grateful for the opportunity. And I'm sure I'll come up with more stuff from the trip as I continue to marinate in it.
Well, one of the things she didn't mention when she was in Florida, she had a full moon.
Oh, I did a full moon over the ocean. That's
and
cool.
She got to watch what you had. Was it
the SpaceX?
SpaceX.
Yeah, SpaceX did a launch. It's some sort of national security something. It's this launch was announced, but the contents of the launch was not something to do with national security. But it was cool to witness. I have videos of that. Actually, that I plan on getting on social media. I haven't yet. So we definitely, if you are not following us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, or YouTube at Kerouacs Cruising. We tend to share what's going on live as it's happening, and a lot more of the video content that we capture, or pictures that we capture along our journeys live as it's happening, rather than the delay from when the episode goes live. And with that, one of the things that did happen while I was in Florida, which was super exciting. So the one we kind of knew about, the other one was a total surprise. And it happened back to back, 2 days in a row. So we had got an email a couple of weeks ago from a gentleman who said he wanted to write a review on our podcast and asked if our links were correct. And when I asked my buddy Claude, my AI thinking partner, to kind of review the guy and make sure that it was legitimate before I engaged with him, he was like, yeah, he's legitimate, but he tends to kind of cookie cutter most of his posts. So he'll just slip in your names, but it's all press is good press. So, go ahead and move forward. So we did. And then I didn't think anything of it. I wasn't too excited about it based on that. And then we get it back, and oh my, it brought me to tears, his review. So this is Tal Gur, and I'll put the link to the show notes in his review, but it was a long, in-depth review. He
broke
his
down
homework.
Our podcast. He must have listened to every episode.
A significant chunk for sure.
He pulled out a lot of detail. He made the podcast sound exceptional.
I'm like, I need to read this every morning of my life for the rest of my life so that I stop feeling like I'm an imposter, because it was a beautiful review. I'm so excited about it. So we will post that in the show notes so that you can share it with your friends and your family, and spread the word, help us grow. I think that there's a lot of good things that could come for us out of that. And then the very next day after Tal had sent us that review, we received a ranking. Had no idea, from Million Podcasts.
Never even heard a Million Podcasts.
Never, yeah, but this is
never even heard of Tag.
Tal.
Tal. T-A-L.
Talger. So Million Podcasts is a legitimate editorial ranking company, and they rank podcasts. So they ranked us out of the hundreds of couples travel podcasts. We are on the top 30 list as number 5. So we're the top 5 couples travel podcast in the world. It's mind-blowing.
We'll put that in there too.
Yeah.
We had 2 really exciting days that we got feedback that we've never really got from anybody. So it was kind of cool. We get feedback from family and friends, but never people that we didn't know that actually ranked us.
We didn't reach out to. We didn't ask for any of this. So we're getting noticed, and it feels good because this is a passion project for us, clearly. And, when we first recorded our first episode, we dreamed of it. We were hoping that success would come from it in terms of people noticing and maybe some monetary compensation for what we're doing. But it's very much just something that we love to do and that we feel like we need to do, because I think it's great for us to process our journey and our travels and our experiences in this form. But it's cool. It was a cool gift. It's mind-blowing. I couldn't even believe when I received both emails. I was totally mind blown. So super cool. We'll put both those links in the show notes so that you guys can share and celebrate with us, because really both of those are all you guys. These people are able to find us and learn about us because you guys are listening, you're engaging, and following us, and that's what gets us noticed, and we're resonating with you, and that's huge. That's such a big deal, and we deeply appreciate every one of you who come back every single week and listen and follow us on the socials and comment and really just show the world that we're great, and just by doing that. So we really appreciate you guys. It's so huge. It's as much a win for us as it is for you guys. It's amazing. Thank you so much.
So what else? Oh, I was gone. I had a whole week to myself, which I did have babysitting duty, which really it's not babysitting duty. It's just come over and play with the baby. The kids were doing nesting, as they called it, and they were cleaning their house, waiting for baby number 2. So they just wanted somebody over there to play with Marcus, the 2-year-old. So that's what my job was. I did it pretty successfully, I think. I think the kid still likes me. And then other things I did, and she might even have some pictures. I hiked every day, so I'm getting ready for an elk hunt in September that we're probably going to hike 8 to 12 miles a day. So I'm trying, and up and down mountain ridges and elevation. You know, we'll start hunting at 5,000 feet and go all the way to 9,000 feet in elevation hunting elk. So I've been getting used to that. Well, where we're parked right now is right near Blacktail Mountain. So as soon as I go right behind the camper where the camper's parked,
right behind us, really, you might be able to see the trail if you're watching. He goes up this trail here, and it takes him right up a mountain.
So this trail is steep. Cara doesn't like to go up the hill. It's really steep. So I've been going up there, and I did 10 miles one day, 8 miles another day, average 5 miles. I think I logged 42 miles for the week that she was gone, because I only see the baby 3 days a week, so I have 4 days a week to do whatever I want, really. And that's pretty much what I spent my time doing, checking on the truck obsessively, because that's what happens. You know, they hook everything up, and then they walk away. Well, it's your responsibility if you're going to have that kind of work done. Make sure there's no leaks. Make sure there's no wires dangling down. You know, I didn't find anything. As far as I can tell, they did an amazing job. You know, no transmission leaks, nothing leaked. They did a great job. So, other than that, the dogs got covered in mud one of the days. Norman got hurt and had a hole about the size of a $50 in the side of his leg. We don't know what he did or whatever. So I've been trying to nurse that wound, and we had a cone on his head so he wouldn't lick it. We gave him antibiotics, all that. But I was like, he goes in that mud, and I don't even know where they found the mud. But
it's been really dry here, so it's surprising there's mud.
They found water to drink, though, up on the mountain. There's still water
springs
running off the mountain, which is amazing. So I did a lot of that. I only went paddleboarding twice when Cara was gone, so I guess I need a partner to do that. And other than that, I think, what else did I do exciting?
Well, okay, so there's a little bit of a backstory that goes with this. So James one day was playing with the baby in his new bedroom that he has, getting prepared for baby number 2 to come. And the key to the front door, so we have 2 doors on our camper. One goes into the bedroom, one goes into the kitchen, basically, into the main part of the camper. And so the key to the main door fell out of James's pocket while he was helping prepare the room and play with the baby.
Yeah,
in
we
the room,
made a bed
to get comfortable with.
We don't know what happened to the key.
So it hasn't been found yet. Who knows? It's the gremlins took it. No idea. So
I think Marcus is hiding it.
Marcus is hiding it. So we've been having an issue, quote unquote, where, you know, when we close the front door because it's locked, it stays locked. We can get into the bedroom door, and typically we walk through the camper and pop open the front door from the inside.
It works on the inside, so when we leave, we would lock the front door from the inside. Not lock it, just close it, because the latch works on the inside. Mm-hmm. And then we'd go out the back door, lock the back door, all fine and good.
So when we were moving the camper to the spot that we're at now by Little Blacktail, it's closer to the family while I was gone, so that James would be close. We closed everything up, not thinking anything of it, you know, moved the camper, dumped the tanks. When James so I went and grabbed supplies. We had a rental car still from the truck being in the shop. I went and grabbed supplies. James dumped the tanks and refilled the water. And he realized when he refilled the water that he couldn't get into the front of the camper in order to be able to turn on the water pump to
flush out the toilet,
basically. Yeah. So he realized it, but didn't fully connect the dots as to what that fully means at the moment. So then we get it to camp and we park and all of that. And then we go to open up the camper and set camp up, and we realize that we cannot get, because the slide out is in, we cannot get from our bedroom door all the way to the front of the camper to open the slide out or open the front door even. So we can't get past the slide out to get to the button to open the slide out. So we both try to squeeze our bodies in. It's just too tight of a space.
It's literally like this much.
Yeah.
If we should have went and got Marcus.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to reach the button.
No, but he probably couldn't even reach the door, maybe.
Yeah. So we were like stressing out about it. We're like, what are we going to do? And so then we try to pop off the hinges, you know, pop off the little bolt that goes into where the hinges turn, so that we can just remove the door, the bathroom door. So where the glide room comes against the wall, it's at our bathroom door, almost in the middle of it. So if the bathroom door wasn't there, you could get around this pop out wall. And so we tried doing that. We messed with that for a while. And then finally, James realized that he could open the bathroom door enough to get into the bathroom and was able to get a screw gun in the little bit that the hinges open to unscrew the hinges. So that's ultimately what he did, is screwed the hinges off and then took the bathroom door out. And then he was able to slide in around the slide out to get to. So it ended up being fine, but to prevent all of this from happening again, he actually switched the locks from the back door to the front door.
The funny part of that story, though, she missed the boat. We're doing all this breaking into our camper, and where we're camping is they have security come. Maybe they had problems here a long time ago, but it's monitored. So we're here trying to break into our camper, and the security guy shows up at the time, and we're probably being loud. I am just frustrated to no end. So the guy starts yelling, whatever. The dogs are barking. Oh no, we had the dogs in the truck.
Dogs were in the truck, but they're barking their full heads off, yeah.
So the guy yells, he wants to talk to somebody because we're parked here. So Cara goes out and says, "Oh, we're just breaking into our camper."
Okay, so
and I'm like,
he says that. He says that like that, but the guy was standing there like trying to engage in conversation, and I'm like, we don't have the time to chat with you right now. We're kind of stressed out. We're breaking into our camper. Like, we're having a rough time at the moment. We all of the paperwork to prove that this camper is ours.
I thought the cops were coming next.
I was not worried about any of that. I was just trying to get the guy to like shut up and walk away. Like, we have a lot going on right now. We got dogs sitting in the sun. We need to get into our camper. So I was like, we lost the front door key, so we're in the process of trying to break in so that we can get to open the door to the camper so the dogs can get out of the truck. Like, I'm trying to get this guy to go, wait, like, we're stressed out. Because he's like, oh, this is a really nice place. You guys are going to really enjoy it here. How long are you going to be here? Like, wanting to have a full-blown conversation. I'm like, we ain't got time for this. Like, yeah.
It was funny.
So he keeps giving me a hard time about that, but I'm trying to I'm letting the guy know the urgency of the situation. Like, we don't have time to chit-chat. I'm not trying to be rude. We got some shit going on right now.
So I did change I guess I did do some maintenance on the camper.
Yeah.
I changed the lock mechanisms. So now the front door we have a key for, which I will try to make a key today to make sure we have a backup key so we don't lose another key, because now the bedroom door is completely closed. But the thing about the bedroom door is you can just open it from the inside, and we only usually open it to let air through. Yeah. So it wasn't a big deal. But our fender flares, some of the other maintenance I did, our fender flares, the screws through vibration, which I guess I got to check all the screws because I found a couple more today loose. They vibrate out and they fall. So in between the last few events, probably from all the way from Iowa, we completely lost the screws, because every time we stop, I'd screw them back in because I'd see the fender flapping in the wind. Well, I went and got lock nuts and put new bolts in it and secured that and changed the locks. What else? I guess that was all I did here. Oh, I put the bathroom door back on, stuff like that. Yeah. So there's always stuff to keep yourself busy. One of the things where I'm going to do, because the truck engine was very expensive, I'm going to try to round up some work while we're here so we don't have the same predicament as we did last winter and ran out of money.
Yeah, so he's going to do like a mobile handyman, yeah. So James is super handy. Obviously, we built our own house. He's been doing work for friends and family for years, maintains, with the exception of replacing the engine in our truck, can do just about anything else as far as vehicle maintenance, small engine repairs, generators, all kinds of stuff. You name it, James can figure it out and tinkers around with it and does a great job, at really maintaining our lifestyle. So he's going to start offering that service as we travel to
I'm going to start. We've been talking about it for a while.
It was the original plan. I was going to do remote work, and he was going to do handyman sort of stuff. And I think it's definitely going to be a lot easier to make a bit more money with that than DoorDash. So DoorDash will hopefully be the fill-in, as we need to fill in gaps, do some DoorDash, but hopefully James can find some work. We're going to advertise online and flyers at the hardware stores and laundromats and all kinds of stuff like that. So I think it'll work out. I mean, we do have a little bit of a network here, not a huge network, but hopefully putting the word out there, Ryan can say stuff at his hospital and things like that. So hopefully get some work to keep us busy. And the biggest thing is they start draining the big lake, Lake Pend Oreille, towards the end of this month, and so people need to get their boats out of their slips and get them into storage. And then,
Well,
of course,
I don't know. I thought they didn't start draining it until after Labor Day.
oh, you could be right, but that's
September
still
1st.
the end of September. Yeah, that's September.
So I'm hoping in between the hunting trip, I'll be able to move people's boats.
Yeah.
And whatever that entails, I don't really know, but it's a huge market for this area because there's a ton of boats, and they all really, most people don't have the luxury of when they lower the water in the lake that their boats can still float. Most of the docks hit the ground.
Yeah.
So the boats have to come out, and there's a big influx of towing boats. So I might do that with the truck for a little while.
Yeah. So we'll keep you guys posted on how that goes, particularly if this is a lifestyle that is interesting
Well,
to
we've
you.
been trying to get it
Optimistic.
going, and just looking on Craigslist and Facebook, and you can definitely advertise work and then flyers. I'm going to do it everywhere I go.
Yeah.
And as soon as I get to that area, we know we're going to stay a couple months, boom, put it up and around, even if it's just a clean out or trash hauling or whatever it is, easy stuff, hard stuff, whatever it is, just to keep something coming in. So
Yeah.
it's easy. It goes very quickly when it only goes one way.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
So that's what we're doing. And other than that, we're just living life, trying to have fun every single day.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing that's very different from what we've done in the past when finances get a little shorter, is we are reminding ourselves to stay present in the moment. You know, when you don't worry about what the future holds, this moment is really beautiful. And so I think the biggest gift we can give ourselves is continue to stay present in the moment, continue to live for today, and remember how wonderful things are. It's the stress of the future, that's the unknown, really. You're just trying to guess and predict it, that really steals away today's joy. So that's what we're trying not to do this time. And I think it's been working pretty good. Things have been good. Life is good. Life is beautiful. And we always figure it out. And that's confidently 110% what I know.
And what I know, you can always donate to Kerouacs Cruising.
Links in the show notes.
Until next time.
We love you guys so much. Thank you so much for loving us, supporting us, watching us, and following our journeys and our
We are
adventures.
going to go on some good trips.
Yeah, we got some stuff coming up, and a baby next week. We're gonna have grandbaby number 2 next week. Is the intention and the plan.
grandbaby.
So that's gonna be fun and exciting. But we've got some cool stuff coming up. Otherwise, that is non-adventure related. We've been teasing that for a couple of weeks, so we're getting to work on that this week, and look forward to giving that to you guys. Thanks, you guys. We love you. Bye.
Bye.